Hey guys, welcome to another spoiler review. We're going to talk about Jordan Peele's latest horror film, Us, this time. Of course, James is here.
Hey, that's me.
I'm here.
You're Julien.
I think I am.
I hope so.
Maybe it's my
Maybe you're an evil twin.
Maybe it's my doppelganger. We talked about this before.
Yeah?
We did. I could be a tether. We don't know.
Wait, did I predict that too? Are you the evil Julien?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't remember an evil Julien taking over. I don't remember. He could have done it in my sleep. But on that note, this movie was good. Was really good.
It was good.
Good. It was really good. It was.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. Not 4.5. I cut the half off. So 4 out of 5. I do recommend going seeing it in theaters. You'll look at my honest review later this week, or probably before this. But let's talk about spoilers. That's what we're going to talk about. So again, if you have not seen Us, this is your spoiler warning. I apologize in advance. If you still don't care, you're still going to continue watching this video, that's your fault. Not my problem. But we're about to spoil the hell out of this movie. I feel like the twist at the end, like you said, we both called it, unfortunately. If you remember from our Us trailer reaction that we did all the way in December, was it? Yeah, it was December.
Back, yeah.
It was December. We both believed, well, I didn't know until he redid the trailer, until James pointed it out in the trailer, was the fact that there was a younger version of Adelaide that was out there, and James called it, which for now, he is 100% in calling shots on stage 3.
Yeah.
That was the younger version of Adelaide, and they switched spots.
Switch places, yeah.
And that was the twist at the end.
So we should probably explain just a little, because I will say there's one part that the very ending scene kind of throws me off.
Yes,
because you go through this whole movie and there's a whole bunch of doppelgangers, and at one point the son kind of saves the day, the young son, because he kind of figures out you can control your more or less their shadow doppelganger, and it doesn't really kind of explain how that's one movie. Like, the issue I have with this movie is there's still some things where I'm like, I don't know how it worked, because
that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Because the son, like, he sees that the evil version of him is about to blow up the car. So he somehow controls him, walks the evil version into a fire, but also gets himself kidnapped this way. Later on, you go into where all the evil doppelgangers are actually from. She goes to save her son, and she does, but it seems like he kind of knows something was up. Which,
when they're in the ambulance, yes.
Because they're driving away, and she looks at him, and then you get the big reveal that she was the evil twin all along, which is
she was red the entire time.
Which, honestly, I think was already having that suspicion that was the case, made it very, like, I don't know, it didn't mean much.
Right, and so I was going to say that, and, like, everybody's mind blown about the twist, and the thing is, like, watching Get Out, and this is what one of our coworkers was talking about, and I was like, he's right in this aspect. If I haven't watched Get Out, I probably would have been like, wow, this movie's really well. But I still would have had the holes that I had with the story, because the thing is, it's like, I picked up on it multiple times throughout the film that this could be red. Like, this Adelaide that we think it could be red. Because, for instance, when they're in the store, if you go back in the trailer, it even shows you in the trailer. But if you go back and look at the scene where they're in the car and she's singing "I Got 5 on It" to I forgot his name.
The son, she's snapping off.
She's snapping off beat.
Yeah.
Right, and you're sitting there and you're wondering, you're not on beat. That's kind of like off, right? And that happens, and then when she's trying to explain to Winston Duke's character about how she feels about there's some evil that's been going on at the Santa Cruz Pier. You could tell, like, she's trying not to, when she's traumatic, when she's getting traumatized, her instinct noises are trying to come out.
Which, that's something I definitely picked up a lot too. Like, that's something that also made it more obvious, because all the clones, doppelgangers, for the most part, can't speak.
Right. The only one who can is Red.
Yeah, and so the whole time, like, she keeps making these noises, which made it more obvious. Like, at the very end, she ends up strangling her doppelganger
and making the noise while she's strangling.
Yeah,
her.
She's making like animalistic noise, and I'm like, okay. Which I wonder if that's how the son kind of got a hint that it might not be her.
I don't think it was at that moment. I think he always knew, because in the house, if you remember when he killed the white family's doppelgangers.
Yes.
She's the only one out of the entire family, and actually the entire film, out of the family in the entire film, that picks up the gold scissors and kills somebody with them, right? And she kills herself, kills him the entire time, right? And the way she kills that white doppelganger, you could tell, like, it was animalistic.
I have a quick question, because I will say I didn't see this movie in theaters, but I saw it. Tim Heidecker's character, he gets like a kind of like a fireplace thing to the head. Was he bleeding blood or was it black?
I think it was bleeding blood.
Okay, because I thought he was bleeding black, and I was like, well, she's actually bleeding blood, so maybe it's not, but I don't know. They from the very beginning, it makes it pretty obvious that I think if you're just paying any attention, that she's the evil one. Because when she goes missing early on when she was a kid at the same pier, when they find her again, she doesn't talk anymore, which right away I was like, okay, that's because she's the evil one.
And then when they go to the therapist, they're like, she doesn't speak.
It's like she's not even my daughter anymore. It's like,
right, cool. And the thing is, it's like they try to throw the audience off because she doesn't speak in that entire sequence. In the first 5 or 10 minutes in the film, when she goes into Merlin's Find Yourself forest and stuff like that, she doesn't really speak. Yeah. She doesn't really say anything that entire time. So she's just walking and going through the motions. So it kind of tries to throw the audience off by saying, like, you know, she's not saying anything and she's been traumatized by this experience. And I'm like, nah. If I know Jordan Peele how this is going, because this felt like a Twilight Zone episode, this is her doppelganger.
And there are some weird, as with any movie, plot holes that I kind of wish would have been explained more. So they talk about there's a special scene between her and her doppelganger where it was a ballet dance.
Yes.
That took place after the switch, from what I understood.
Correct.
And the way it was originally explained is whatever the original does, the doppelganger does too.
Correct.
Underneath. But I guess it's just whoever's on top, in a way, because they're both doing the ballet dance together. Was she just doing a ballet dance for fun, or was the evil one doing ballet dance up there and now controlling her? Because she talks about. I wasn't even thinking about that far. Because she talks about, she's like, you married your prince, and I had to marry him no matter what, even if I didn't love him, and I had to have these kids. And it's like, so I'm guessing just whoever's on the surface is automatically in control.
I think so.
Another weird thing, she lost her voice for some reason.
So, that's my biggest thing that I talked about Johnny on Matinee Talk. It's the fact that, so Jordan Peele tried to didn't say it, but you can allude to it. It's the fact that Adelaide voice box seemed to got crushed when they were talking, because if you look at the way if you look at the way Red has her hands around her neck, it's literally right there at the voice box, and she seemed like she crushed it, and that's why she was.
I'll give you that. Like this. Okay, and though over years and years it doesn't heal, I guess.
So that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So you're telling me that literally crushed her voice box, and the thing is over in the tether world, there's no hospital, no healing or anything like that, and like I said, Adelaide discusses how, they've been stuck down there, that the government has been doing experiments on these people and they just left them.
That's also weird because you never see that at all. Like, you just hear about it.
So we're going to get into all that in a moment too. And it's like, I was confused because it's like, the government left out of there decades ago and left them to die. So how are they still making tethered without the government experimenting on them, right? And I guess I was confused about that, and I was also confused about the fact that, like I said, with Get Out, right? And I hate that I'm referencing Get Out more and more as I'm talking about the movie, is the fact that with Get Out, we didn't get exposition. Adelaide sat there with us for 2 scenes, throwing exposition out to us, right? When she first brings her tethered family with her, and explains what she's doing about the shadow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then when they into the Tether's world, and she's cutting up the pieces and talking about the Hands Across America and this stuff and that third, and you're sitting there like, why am I getting exposition, whereas with Get Out, the only exposition we got with Chris was the fact that, hey, this family does this surgery, right? And literally Chris is unraveling it for himself so the audience can be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I wish we would have had some kind of moment like that, because Red knows what's going on. Red knows who these people are, and she knows that
this is her life that was
this is her life that she did, right? I felt like Red should have been the one, not like giving the exposition, but revealing bits and pieces as it's going along. Like, granted, you're displaced 30 years out of the Tether world, but you still know what the hell's going on, right?
And I wonder if it's the fact that they wanted to save the
little twist at the
very end instead of a little bit towards the end.
True, but the thing is, you could do it in a way, like Jordan Peele. That's why I was like, I feel like Jordan Peele could have done it in a way where, you know, we would have known it a little bit easier. You know, I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind it, but it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some weird, I don't know, I kind of wonder if it would have made more sense to not have as many tethered.
I feel like that.
Because it made them feel less scary, since it's just like everybody.
So, and that's the thing. And I was going to say, on that note, that's why I didn't like the movie by the end of it. Don't get me wrong, I still loved the movie, but it was just like, kind of lost me towards the end, because it's like, it became a personal film, right? Hey, this is my doppelganger, and she got this family, and now she's trying to attack me. And it became from that to everyone's tethered. Yeah. Then it came to so it came to privilege, elitism, commercialism. Then it became socialism. Then it became Reaganomics. Then it became Hands Across America. Then it became all this other stuff, and it became expanding more and more to the point where I was just like, you have way too many themes going on. Let's push it back down, right? And yes, I get it. Us is a reflection of not only us, but the United States as well, right? You talk about there's thousands of miles of road that literally millions of people are in. I don't believe that, but that's besides the point. But you sit here and you try to make this lore, and I'm sitting here unraveling it more and more, and it doesn't make sense. Like, how is Red the only one that ever found that door opening?
Well, it's more because how did no one with a clone also wander into that place?
Correct.
Because that's the way she finds it, is because she's being kind of simultaneously controlled, and they just happens to be like the meeting point.
But how come there's nobody else in the entire U.S. has done the exact
That's another thing. Is there a whole underground U.S.? Is that what I'm supposed to believe?
That's what we're supposed to believe.
The whole U.S. is
because they literally do Hands Across America throughout the entire terrain in the U.S.
Because I'm like, I understand if it was just this area, but it'd still be kind of weird. It's one of those things where you don't necessarily need to explain it, but it needs to be at least somewhat logical in this way.
Yes.
Because that's the only way it's supposed to be scary, is if, this could really... But it's like, there's way too many... There's not enough space. Especially because it was just downstairs. Like, if I dig down, I'm going to find me digging up. I don't know. It definitely, especially with horror movies, it has plot holes all over. I still enjoyed it.
Yes.
I think I wasn't scared for pretty much any of it. There's one scene that only kind of creeped me out. It's when the white family gets killed, just because they're really quick and merciless with them. They're just they're dead now. Boom, stab, stab,
right.
stab.
Literally, and I was gonna say that what I love about how Jordan filmed this entire film, specifically at that point, because you're sitting there like, okay, is the Wilsons' tethered family about to kill them now? And you're sitting there like, what's going on? And, you know, the husband is being typical white dad. No, there's nothing going on. I'm right. I'm just sitting in my couch just drinking, right? And then they sit there and talk about it, and the girls come out, and out of nowhere, within 5 seconds, their tethered family just, soup. I'm like...
That was the part where I was like, kind of creeped out because the daughters especially look creepy as hell.
Really creepy as hell.
But then they get whoa real quick.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
But
that was quick.
When I really broke it down, I'm thinking like, could I take myself? Probably. Especially a version of me that's only eating rabbits. Like,
who's only been eating raw rabbit.
If he has scissors, I could probably still take him.
The thing is, the person, you're tethered, and this is what Red picked up on. And again, like I said, tidbits that Red understood is how she's been handling it. You could realize that your tethered works by you, right? Yeah. Works solely by you. So literally, how the son literally learned how to do his back. Hey, my tether has scissors.
Yeah.
Sit there and die and just watch you die. Damn, son. Now all I gotta do is kill the rest of the tether, right? Like, that's all I gotta do. Like, it's not that hard. So that's why I was like, I can fight myself. And for him to go on interviews and say like he was scared of a doppelganger, I'm gonna be honest. If I had a doppelganger out there in this entire world, hit me up. I would like to know who you are.
I want to kill them now. Oh.
Whoa. He went far. I just want to know who you are. I just want to know who you are. I just, like, the movie was really, like I said, the movie was really well done. But when you go back and think about it, there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns about the film.
You have to take it as it is. Yes. Otherwise, it's not going to be as enjoyable.
Right. And so that's why I felt Johnny had, because Johnny has this as a 3 out of 5, because he literally took himself out of there by the end of the movie because he said that I was thinking too much.
Yeah.
And I agree. I felt, somebody said this on Twitter and I kind of agree with it. It's like a J. Cole project. Meaning, some of his projects, you have to have a thinking cap on, and if you don't, sometimes it will go over your head, or go it'll be either it'll go over your head, or you're gonna think about it too much, and it's gonna disappoint you in the process. And I felt like that's what Jordan Peele did with this one. It's not a bad film.
You just have to be in the mindset for it.
Right. It's just you gotta look at the tidbits because literally this entire film is based off of 80s U.S. Reaganomics, elitism, socialism, commercialism. Privilege. It literally rails in the 80s, like Reagan's presidency, and then it expands a little bit more about what's going on now, which isn't bad, but it's like if you don't know anything about the ideas that Reagan had in his presidency, some of the social aspects of it would go over your head. Like Hands Across America. Literally,
It's funny because once I saw them holding hands, I immediately, without even thinking of like the actual Hands Across America, I was like, it's like Hands Across America, like right. As a joke, like.
Right, and that's literally what it was. It was like the idea of Hands Across America, and I'm sitting there like, okay, it's cute that he literally did the Reagan's philosophy, but that doesn't help the story in itself, right? Mm-hmm. I still felt like more could have been explained, but that's besides the point.
It's weird because more could explain and less could have been explained.
Yes.
I didn't need as much exposition. I needed less of the correct exposition.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a fine movie. I kind of wish the father and the daughter's character would have gotten as much care, because like they make a note like does track, and they make a point where she has to run from the other daughter, like the evil daughter. I don't even remember what happened.
She just kept running.
That's right. She runs her over too.
Yeah.
Also, I was trying to go like up to her.
She gets run over by the Range Rover.
Yeah, and I guess the dad drowned, the evil one.
Yeah, he stabbed himself and then drowned and killed himself. Or drowned himself in the lake.
Yeah.
Side note. I feel like Winston Duke's character in this film is going to be me as a father in 10, 15 years from now, because literally the dad jokes... He was
great, too.
Right, the dad jokes were on point. I loved it and enjoyed it. So,
I will say, I hated how he was kind of a little dumb.
He was cartoonish. He was very cartoonish.
There's the whole part where they're standing off against their doppelgangers, and he's like, you can take my money or whatever. It's like, that's you. Like, that's y'all. Like, how do you not
know? And what I loved about it is his doppelganger did almost the exact same thing that he did to Ross in Black Panther. Yeah. He starts talking. He's like, ah!
Yeah, he's like, whoa, okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, It's weird. There's probably as much comedy as there is horror in this movie.
Yes.
Like the part where the family's getting killed.
And Ophelia instead of Alexa.
Yeah, and she's like, Ophelia, call the police. It's like, playing fuck the police. I was like,
yeah,
that's so stupid.
I was like,
but I think it's
so
funny. Yeah, like he's like, how can I put this song in the movie? I think this movie, if it could, the only like things I kind of hope for is that it would have gone a different route for the third act, and that it would have been just their family that got the doppelgangers.
Else, yes.
I mean, to be fair, I don't write Hollywood movies that make billions and millions of dollars, so don't listen to me necessarily. It's just that's where I thought the movie was going, kind of hoped it was going. Took a bit of a turn
to way more of America.
Yeah, which I don't know. I think horror movies are cooler when it's a self-contained threat versus like massive worlding, because it's like, oh well, now everyone has their own horror story technically in this world. You're just the one who started it.
And the thing that kind of hit me there was in the house when he asked, or was it Red asked, "Who are you?" and literally Adelaide says, "We're Americans." I was like, oh no, don't tell me they were going that far.
That was weird.
It was a weird word, and it was like one of those slap in the head moments, but I was, as soon as she said that, I was like, bless you, I feel like that's what's going to happen, and literally that's what happened.
Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
That was one thing where I was like, what? Okay, sure, like...
I'll take it.
Yeah. Overall, I think it was enjoyable. It's one of those things where I'll probably have to wait a little while to watch it again to really enjoy it again.
That's what I was going to say. I'm probably going to wait until it gets on DVD.
Yeah. I still recommend people seeing it.
Yes.
I definitely still really enjoyed it. The acting and the storytelling and the...
cinematography.
Yeah, cinematography, like the music score, like it all is an enjoyable experience. Yeah. Like I think I mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or previous video already, where it very much feels like it. Where it's like, it was a video earlier, where it's like it's a horror movie that's not a horror movie. It's like it's a scary elements, but it's very much just a kind of comedy and a story to tell that happens to have creepy horror stuff in it. Yeah,
and I agree with that. So, on that note, tell us what you think of Us. Tell us some theories that you have on Us. I'm hearing so many theories about this movie. We can't get into this video because this video is already long, so leave them in the comments if you want. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't. I did that weird. More and more, James might be right. I might be my own doppelganger. I don't even know. Don't forget to follow us. Follow us on our social media. Other than that, that's pretty much it. What else you have to say, Matt?
The only thing I have to say is I think not everything has to be a cinematic universe. It's okay to let stories be on their own.
And I feel like that's what this is, but there's so many people trying to connect this to Get Out.
Yeah, and just let it be.
Just let it be. Let it be.
Let him decide that.
Yes. Well, he said this movie is your interpretation. And he did confirm and say this is not in the same universe as Get Out.
Yeah.
But on that note, thank you guys for joining us. Let us know if there's any other movies you want us to spoil the hell out of. We will definitely do all of that. And from all of us here, thanks for joining us, and stay tuned.